Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a 15-year-old boy named Alex who was going through the toughest phase of his life. Like every teenager, Alex had many questions and doubts about his life, but he was trapped in the web of overthinking. Every day, every hour, his mind was constantly occupied with thoughts about his decisions and his future. Alex's mind was never at peace. If something went wrong, he would repeatedly question his choices. Did I make the right decision? What if something goes wrong today? Such thoughts would continuously revolve in his head, making him feel as if he could never make the right decisions. One day, when the problem became overwhelming, Alex went to his grandfather and shared his worries. "Grandpa, I don't know what to do. My mind keeps racing all the time. Even over the smallest things, I can't stop overthinking. Please tell me, how can I put an end to this?" Hearing Alex's concerns, his grandfather smiled and said, "Son, everyone faces this issue at some point in their life. But overthinking is something that, if understood wisely, can be tackled easily. Let me share 2 stories with you that will help you escape the trap of overthinking forever." With that, Grandpa began his first story. Once upon a time in a village, there was a young man named Harry. He was a bright student, and his mind was incredibly sharp. But he had one problem. He overthought everything. Whenever he faced a problem, he would continuously think about it, analyzing every detail and considering every possible outcome. As a result, he often felt anxious and overwhelmed. One day, Harry decided to seek advice from Buddha. When he reached Buddha's ashram, he saw Buddha sitting under the shade of a large tree surrounded by his disciples. Harry approached Buddha and shared his problem. "Guruji, I find myself overthinking everything. I analyze every aspect of a problem, and it causes me a lot of stress and anxiety. How can I stop overthinking and find peace?" Buddha, smiling and kindly, said, "Dear friend, you are not alone in this struggle. Many people wrestle with overthinking, and it can become a heavy burden. But the good news is, there is a way to overcome it." He then asked Harry to sit beside him and began to tell a story. Once a man was walking through a forest. As he walked, he noticed a small bird sitting on a branch, singing a beautiful song. The man was so captivated by the bird's melody that he stopped to listen. But as he listened, he began to think about the song. He wondered why the bird was singing and what it might be trying to say. He started analyzing the tune and rhythm, trying to find a deeper meaning. As he overthought, he became distracted and lost track of time. When he finally looked up, the bird had flown away and he had missed the beauty of the moment. Buddha looked at Harry and said, "My friend, you are like that man in the forest. You are so caught up in analysis and overthinking that you are missing the beauty of the present moment. You are losing the joy of life." Harry remained silent for a moment, reflecting on Buddha's words. Then he asked, "But how can I stop overthinking? It has become a habit." Buddha smiled again and said, "The key to stopping overthinking is to focus on the present moment. When you find yourself overanalyzing, shift your attention to your breath. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. Sense your feet on the ground and listen to the sounds around you. By focusing on the present, you can calm your mind and bring yourself back to the here and now." Harry thanked Buddha and left the ashram, feeling lighter and more at peace. From that day on, whenever he began to overthink, he tried to bring his focus to the present. He found that his anxiety and stress began to diminish, and he started to enjoy the beauty of life more fully. By the end of the first story, Alex was listening intently. Then Grandpa began his second story. In a village, there was a young man who couldn't let go of bad memories from the past. If someone said something hurtful or something went wrong, he would dwell on that single incident all day. The same thoughts would keep spinning in his head. As a result, he either blamed his fate and God or thought about taking revenge on the person who had wronged him. Because of his habit of overthinking, neither his relationships nor his work thrived. He was always in a state of stress and mental unrest. Seeing his condition, a friend advised him to visit a Zen master at a nearby monastery. The young man went to the Zen master and explained how he couldn't stop thinking about past mistakes and events. After listening to him, the Zen master didn't respond immediately and went inside the monastery. The young man felt a bit awkward, but waited patiently. After a while, the Zen master returned with a clay cup filled with water. The Zen master asked, "How heavy is this cup?" The young man replied, "I can't say exactly, but it's not very heavy." The Zen master asked, "What if I hold this cup for a while?" The young man said, "Nothing will happen." The Zen master asked again, "What if I hold it for an hour?" The young man replied, "Your hand will start hurting." The Zen master then asked, "What if I hold it for the entire day?" The young man said, "Your hand will ache a lot, it might go numb, and your muscles could stiffen." The Zen master said, "Exactly, but did the weight of the cup change during that time?" The young man replied, "No, the weight didn't change." "Then why did your hand start hurting and your muscles stiffen?" asked the Zen master. The young man replied, "Because I held it for too long." The Zen master smiled and said, "Exactly. Life's troubles are the same. If you hold on to them for a short time, they seem manageable. But if you keep holding on to them for a long time, they cause pain. And the longer you hold on to them, the more they can overwhelm and paralyze you." The Zen master continued, "It's important to reflect on your past mistakes and experiences, but it's even more important to learn from them and move forward. If you cling to them, they will only bring you pain. But if you let them go, you can live a better and more peaceful life." Friends, this story teaches us that we should not let past troubles occupy space in our lives. If you want your today to be better, let go of your worries and focus on the present. After sharing these stories, Grandpa said, "Son, learn from these stories that overthinking changes nothing. Understand your problems, but don't let them take over your heart and mind. Simplify your life. Whenever you start overthinking, focus on your breath and bring yourself back to the present moment." Friends, are you also trapped in the web of overthinking like Alex? If yes, learn from these stories. Understand your problems, but don't let them overpower you. Take control of your thoughts and enjoy the present moment. If this video helped you, please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Remember, your life can be better than your thoughts. Just take the first step in the right direction.